Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I have got another St. Patrick's or Lucky themed card to share with you today. I'm going to be pulling from a die set that was included in the January Spellbinders card kit. So this creates one of those lucky cats that you often see in, I think they're in Chinese restaurants, with the arms that swing sort of back and forth, and this die set is absolutely adorable. I really loved putting this little cat together. It even comes with a little sort of spring folded piece that you can put behind the paw so that you can get that action of pushing the actual paw back and forth on your card. So there I'm giving you a look just at the content card from that kit, as well as all of the die pieces that we're going to put together to make this little kitty cat. So I have started out by trimming everything out. The cat is cut out from some MFT whipped cream cardstock. And then rather than trim this out, several different times, it already is quite a bit of cutting for all the elements. I'm just going to save the pieces for the eyes and the nose and the ears. And I've used a pink Copic to color in the ears and the nose, so those will match. And then my black Memento TUXEDO black marker to color in the eyes. I've grabbed a little bit of tape here. This is sort of like a fabric tape I'm using, just placing that behind the openings so I can pop everything down into place together. You could put another piece of cardstock back there, or I've also used Post-it tape. That works really good as well. But I'm just pressing everything into place. I'm gonna go ahead and get this little guy put together. Really pretty simple. Just layering a few things on top of each other. While I'm putting this little guy together, I'll let you know the cardstock colors I'm using. For the cat, I'm using MFT's whipped cream. Then I'm going to pull in some Limelight, Gumdrop Green, and Field Day. I've used those for the collars. I did a few different colors. For the bottom portion of his collar there, I pulled in a really bright pink. This is from Paper Tray Ink, and it's called Hibiscus Burst. And then I did use some of the gold that was also included in the card kit. So I'm going to go ahead there and get his paw all glued together. The one tricky thing about this is when you glue the paw down on the side here, you want to make sure that it's not touching or too close to his little face, because we are going to put that little spring mechanism behind it that's going to give that a little bit of movement. So you want to make sure it's not going to get stuck on anything or behind anything. Just folding that down there, I'll add a little drop of glue and hold that into place until it's dried. For my sentiment, I'm going to stamp that out on this Hibiscus Burst. And I did pull in a few of the stamps that were included in this card kit as well. So this sentiment reads, "So Lucky." And I am using my Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. And then underneath that, I'm going to add a little strip out of MFT's Black Licorice, and I'm stamping out "To Have a Friend Like You." Now, I had zoomed in to put the cat together. I wanted you to get a really nice, good look at that. And here's where I realized I needed to zoom out a little bit more so you could see better what I was doing. So thankfully, I caught that before I started putting the card together. So I have stamped out "To Have a Friend Like You" using some Versamark ink. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my Simon Says Stamp Fine Detail White, add that over top, and get that heat embossed. One of the really nice things about the Spellbinders card kits lately have been they're including a few, not all, but a few dies that are included to cut out some of the sentiments, and I really love having that. So I went ahead here and used this coordinating one to cut out that "So Lucky," and now I'm going to go ahead and get everything put in place. My background panel is cut out of Stamp Market Greenery cardstock. It's trimmed to 4 by 8¼ inches. And I'm just going to add some art glitter glue behind all these cats and get them put into place. Making sure to have everything laid out exactly how I want it. I did trim down that black cardstock to about 1/4 inch wide. Want to make sure that everything's going to read and not be overlapping too much. Just playing around with my placement, making sure I'm happy with the original plan I came up with. And then I'm going to take this sentiment strip, just give that a little angle on the side there. I'll add some Scor-Tape behind that. And go ahead and get that placed down here. I'll trim off that excess, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab this So Lucky sentiment, and I wanted to add a little bit more dimension, so I'm gonna grab some of my sticky thumb pop dots and I'll place those on the back here. I have tons of those little teeny tiny dots. They're the ones that I use the least of, so place those all over the back there, peel away the backing. I'm just gonna position that right above my heat emboss sentiment. The cats did come with these little tokens with hearts in the center. I decided not to use those on this one just because I didn't want the front of my card to be too busy. I'm gonna finish here by adding just a little drop of my art glitter glue behind that mechanism at the back of the pod just to make sure that that's stuck down nice and tight. And then I've created a card base, again out of MFT's whipped cream cardstock. And I've trimmed that to 4¼ by 8½. It's going to give me a little border all the way around my panel. I flipped that inside out, stamped the sentiment, "You're perfect," again using my Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. I'm going to add some ATG to the back of my panel, place that down on top here, just making sure that's down nice and tight. And then I wanted to add a little something more on that black strip at the bottom here. So I had some hearts which were actually cut out of those little discs that the cat can hold. So I grabbed 3 of the gold ones I had left over, added those in a row there. And then I've trimmed off about 1/4 inch of that same hibiscus burst cardstock, added some Scor-Tape to the back of that, and I'm going to add that along the bottom of the inside of my card just to give it a little bit more interest. There you can see all of those little paws that will go back and forth. I'm going to angle this so you can really see the dimension that I got with that. And that is going to finish up our card for today. Here are a few close-ups of the finished card. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.